Come with me on a tour around the HAGWITCH Herb Garden. I have a multitude of plants here, and many of my medicinal herbs are actually laid out in a medicinal circle, kind of like a Celtic native medicine wheel, because it's all elementally aligned. Starting off in the west quarter, and this is my wild lettuce. This is a calming, relaxing herb for insomnia. It's an analgesic, a sedative, one we would recommend in smaller doses, and obviously check all the contraindications of any of the herbs I'm showing you today. It contains lettuce latex, so I have to be careful when working with this plant. And when dried, the plant compound lactucarium acts very like opium, but with fewer side effects. So you can imagine what its analgesic properties can be like. Traditionally, it was actually used for whooping cough as well as for pain relief. And according to studies, it acts on the central nervous system. More studies are, however, needed. Next to that, we have our elecampane, Inula helenium. And the root has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries. And it's stated to be a potent antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory, and also an antimicrobial. It's used in cases of respiratory health and gastro concerns, and has beautiful yellow flowers on it. Currently, further research is taking place into its anti-tumour properties, after 120 smaller studies have so far demonstrated that potential. This is believed to be down to its compounds, and I'll probably say these wrong, isolantolactones, sesquiterpenes, and atalantolactones. Now, most of its folklore has centred around respiratory health, and COPD research is also still ongoing, but looks promising. And in vitro studies have shown further promising cases of antibiotic-resistant staph. But look at the pretty little flowers it provides to brighten up the place too. I have a few varieties of rose dotted around the place. This one needs a bit of pruning. It's been buried by the elecampane and the valerian. I do have quite a few videos on the properties of rose, so here's a few of mine. It's a beautiful medicine, from skin conditions to internal uses, such as in cases of anti-inflammatory, stress and anxiety. It's a hug in a mug basically, and I absolutely love rose. I also include it in an awful lot of my bath products too. Now this is my valerian, and the bees love this too. Valeriana officinalis. It's a mild sedative, worked with traditionally for nervous tension and insomnia. It's also commonly used to support women's reproductive health and regulate menstruation, and Hippocrates himself was a huge fan. For women in menopause, it's believed to ease symptoms from flushing to sweating to sudden heart rate changes. But again, a reminder to look into all herbs and the contraindications before taking any that you see in my videos. And I put valerian in a lot of my anti-stress remedies. Here's a little bit of the comfrey. And now I've harvested this quite a bit because I make bruise creams out of this. And I occasionally mix it with oxeye daisies. And I'll also use this if there's any bruising to bones as well, because it brings it out really quickly and helps with the healing speed time, in my opinion. So it's another one that I love and always have in my garden. It's in a pot because it does take over an awful lot. Next to this is skullcap. And this is another one that I use for mental health. It's very calming and is very much a relaxing herb. I am planning on doing another video on this one though, so I won't go on too much with this one. And this little one with the purple flowers is herb robert, Geranium robertianum, and it was traditionally used for diarrhea, to support liver and gallbladder health, considered an anti-inflammatory, so worked with widely for cases of arthritis alongside other herbs. It's believed to reduce blood pressure and improve cholesterol health, whilst also having an array of external uses, stated to be an effective antiviral, antioxidant and antiseptic. Sharing the same plot until I replant them is my evening primrose. Its external uses are well revered in skincare and anti-aging cosmetics. However, it's another amazing woman's herb for reproductive health and PMS, menopause symptoms, and is being studied for endometriosis at the minute as well. In the past, it was also used for arthritic pain as well. So it's another good one for every woman to have growing in their garden. This is a red valerian that I tried to save from somewhere. It had been pulled out, so I've planted it and I'm hoping for the best there. And this is the feverfew. As the name implies, it was traditionally used to treat fevers, headaches, stomach-related pain, alongside toothache, arthritis and menstrual problems. There's tons of studies online on this beautiful plant. It contains sequiterpenes and flavonoids, glycosides and pinene, and is considered an anti-inflammatory, a cardiotonic, an antispasmodic, but also an emmenagogue. So avoid this one in pregnancy. And that's pretty much the West Quarter. So let's move around now and we go to the north, and this is where we have our mugwort, Artemisia vulgaris, and historical uses also include beer making, alongside menstrual complaints, menopause, digestive complaints, and is considered a sedative and a relaxant. Many cultures consider mugwort to be a sacred plant ally full of wisdom, and is believed to have mild psychotropic effects and is worked with to cleanse, purify, and protect. It's a good antioxidant, and studies have shown that it can boost brain function. It's one of my favourite herbs, and I love to craft smudge sticks with this. I have several videos on mugwort, so please do check them out because this is an amazing plant. So stick it in a bucket. And then I've got a bit of vein down here. That one's starting to come up. Now there's actually some cleavers growing in here too. And this is another plant that I absolutely love. It's an amazing lymphatic herb, great for helping to flush the body. I juice it, and it's also amazing for skin complaints and makes beautiful creams. Now we're in the East Quarter, and here we have lavender, Lavandula augustifolia or officinalis, a well-known and loved plant, widely used for soothing and relaxing the body and mind. It's revered for it. It's got stated antibacterial and antiviral properties, and also believed to be good for herbs, but I generally swear by bicarb paste, not lavender for that, because the oils can tend to trap it in. And by that I mean trap that heat in when you want to really suck that heat out and stop any internalized burning. In folk medicine, lavender pillows were commonplace. However, I will put it in the odd tea blend and skin care product too. It's officially recognised in Germany as a treatment for stomach aches caused by anxiety. And other studies have shown a really good response in hair growth trials, but also in cases where they were treating hirsutism, which is excessive hair growth in women. So it looks like it has more of a balancing effect overall for hair growth, and it's also considered to be a mild analgesic. Next to the lavender, we have sage, Salvia officinalis, and our common sage is considered just as spiritually capable as white sage from America, which is currently under threat. It has centuries of traditional use medicinally, and today it's used to support the treatment of inflammatory conditions, cholesterol complaints, blood sugar regulations, to boost the memory for throat complaints. It contains camphor, carnosic acid, and carnosol, which are stated to be anti-inflammatory and antioxidants. They allegedly activate a molecule called peroxisome, PPAR gamma, which helps regulate blood sugar, lipids, inflammation, and protects the cells from oxidative stress. There's tons of studies online about sage, and it allegedly works well with lavender for cognitive support too. Excuse the background noise, the dogs have just got back from a walk. And this is motherwort, and we're now in the south bed, Leonaris cardiac. It's an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antibacterial, and emmenagogue, but can also allegedly be used to stop bleeding, and in cases of high BP and heart failure too. Again, the studies out there. It's considered another sacred herb for women, as it helps regulate menstruation and can also help prevent bleeding after postpartum blood loss. Traditional historical use also included heart disease as well. It's full of flavonoids, triterpenes, tannins and sterols, alongside flavonoids and arsenic acid and leonorine, and other compounds in motherwort show great results in trials studying heart protective herbs in rats. Studies in humans are sadly still limited, but there's centuries of reports professing its benefits. It's a herb to avoid on blood thinners, beta blockers, and if pregnant though. Some lovely little nasturtiums next to this, just there. Beautiful flowers, one of my faves. And you can see how tall and proud my motherwort is there. It's flourishing, it's brilliant, I love it. Another herb that I include in my hair care products is rosemary, Rosmarinus officinalis, and I have quite a few videos on rosemary, so I'm just going to touch on it briefly. Rosemary tea prepared as a strong decoction, to a strong tea, essentially around 3 to 5 times a day, has proven very effective in studies for mental health conditions. It uplifts the mood whilst having a soothing, calming effect. Historically, as a folk medicine, it was used as an antispasmodic and analgesic. It's got mild pain relieving effects for insomnia due to emotional upset, headaches and migraines. It contains rosmarinic acid, carnosic acid, alkaloids, phenolic acids and triterpenes. It's considered an antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective. I will add all the uni students that I'm on the herbal medicine course with ensured we had rosemary on us, whether that was a sprig, a tea or the oil during our biochemistry exams. And there are studies currently taking place, including patients with dementia and Alzheimer's, neuropathic pain and disorders, functional neurological disorder as well. So it's going to be quite interesting to see where they take us. Other folk uses included stomach upset, fatigue, dysmenorrhea, rheumatic pain and spasms as well. In front of the rosemary we have our St. John's wort, Hypericum perforatum, not to be taken alongside contraceptives. It's a common homeopathic remedy for stress, anxiety and depression. The main chemical compounds are hypericin and hyperforin, as they affect dopamine, serotonin and norepinephrine in the body. This isn't a herb that clinical herbalists would use for long-term severe depression, however. It's considered a muscle relaxant, an anti-inflammatory, a vulnerary, which means it helps wounds heal faster and may reduce some swelling. It's an antiviral, an astringent and a nerve tonic. And there's quite a few medications that actually interact with St. John's wort. So always proceed with caution. And as with all herbs discussed in this video and others, please look into them for yourselves. All the contraindications, the side effects and what they react with and what they're synergistic with too. Now this is mint, and this also goes into my hair oil as well. It's amazing for hair health according to studies, and I've gone into more detail on this in other videos. It's got a long-standing historical use for digestive complaints, IBS, respiratory conditions. It boosts the immune system, soothes aches and pains internally and externally. And let's be honest, it makes a mean mojito. It's packed full of antioxidants, menthols and rosmarinic acid, known to be an effective anti-inflammatory, and the menthols in it make it a good decongestant. It's one to avoid, however, if you suffer from GERD. So just a quick reminder to look into all these herbs and plants for yourself before you have any interaction with them. This video is for entertainment and information purposes only.